Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fat Mascara. I'm Jenn Sullivan.
And I'm Julee Wilson.
And we are here to talk about beauty culture. This is a podcast about beauty culture. That is our trademarked tagline. It's not trademarked, but no, it's not.
You should trademark it.
Yeah,
everything.
I'll look into that. Anytime I get a lawyer involved in anything, I'm like, why did I do this?
I know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
How are you? It's been a minute.
I am really good. Life is like, while the world is burning around us, like my personal life is actually thriving.
Well, I can see that from the streets of New York City and the stores of New York City. Y'all, if you had been in New York City, I don't know if your posters are still up. Are they still up?
They are still up. I think this is the last week that they are up.
Julee's face is like, you're not just, okay, let me just back up.
Yeah.
You're in, I'm just going to call them ads and then you're going to tell us all about this for InnBeauty Project because you're in-store advertisements. However, you know, everyone when an album drops and they paste the poster up on the wall in New York City, Julee's face got pasted on walls. Tell us everything.
The wild postings, which they're called, or wheat pastings, it's insane. So they're in 60 places around the city, which is like crazy. I'll be like driving
your
in
big old face
Uber and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. and the Uber driver's like, huh? And I was like, I know I'm not giving like the same right now, but it is me. My face is not looking quite as beautiful right now, but that is me.
Okay, model, tell us how you ended up doing this.
Okay, so I literally was just having a desk-side breakfast with the founders who I'd known about the brand and been a fan of the brand. But Aaron, their CMO, was like, they're going to be in town because they don't live in New York. Would you want to have breakfast with them? We had this lovely breakfast. And by the end of the breakfast, they were like, we're doing this campaign around the first anniversary of our hero product, Extreme Cream. And it's all about being fearless and ageless and like saying, fuck it to ageism. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm all about that. I say my age with my chest. And they were like, yeah, so you should be a part of it. I literally thought it was going to be like, an Instagram post or like something like that. And it was this big, huge campaign. They had this amazing party at a like art gallery to celebrate it. And then I'm seeing my face all over the city. It's crazy.
So for this InnBeauty Project campaign, when they took your photo, did you know at that point that it was going to get blown up to like 4 feet by 6 feet posters?
I know, my face. It's like a close-up of my face. I knew it was going to be a close-up of my face, which was really giving me anxiety.
But like on Instagram, that's one thing.
Right. But I thought they were like, oh, it's kind of like this campaign we did last year, which they did do the wheat postings. Okay. But I was like, okay, but like I'm not as like big as the people they used last year. Although the two other influencers or professionals other than me, Kelly Ann and Caroline, they both have they have hundreds of thousands of followers and I have under 100,000 followers. So I was like, I don't know if they're going to treat me like they treat them.
One Julee poster for every 72 of their posters?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No.
And so I was like, maybe it'll go up here or there. 60 places, sister. Like, it's crazy.
What was it like being on the other side of the camera? Like, you're usually the one directing photo shoots.
I know. It was really weird, but I let them do their thing and direct. And it was kind of exciting to not have that pressure of getting the right shot. I was just like, I'm just going to smile how they want me to smile. I had a great glam squad. I mean, Navasha
You look like you. You look gorgeous.
Navasha did my hair, my twists, and Sabina Collier, makeup artist, made sure my skin was skinning because I didn't really even wear makeup. I mean, that's how good the product is. I was at first like, oh, they're for sure going to be putting makeup on me and then shooting it. They were like, we really don't want any makeup. We just want to make sure your skin is glowy. So
extreme creamed.
Extreme creamed and no lashes, no eyeliner. It was nothing like that. So I was like, oh my God, my bare face is going to be 5 foot tall. What is that going to give? It was great.
I applaud you. I don't know if I could do it. It's not just the showing off. I don't mind my bare face. It's just, I don't know. I get shy. No.
I think it was cool because for us too, as storytellers, right? We spend our whole career telling other people's stories. We are constantly pushing other people's products. We are constantly telling other people's narratives. And this was a moment where I really felt seen and celebrated. It was like, we love what you do. We love your voice, what you do in this industry. And we want to celebrate you in this way. We want to put your face up there. We want to put your name, your handle is on the post. My handle's on the poster. Like, also my age, which is like 12 inches tall on it, but whatever.
I didn't even notice that. See, I didn't even, that didn't even register.
But it was really nice. I think it's nice when we get to step back and people get to say, thank you for like everything that you do.
Yeah, you're right. I, though, chose this career path because I'm like, nope, want to be behind the scenes and tell other people's stories. But you're right. At some point, whenever I'm interviewing someone, by the way, and I want to talk about your Zaya cover profile, because actually, let's talk about that. Because so you wrote a 17 magazine cover profile for Zaya, who is an activist, an influencer, all of the things. And I kept thinking, I could picture you two like chilling and talking because it's your voice and the questions completely.
Yeah.
But I was like, whenever I'm interviewing a celebrity, I'm always thinking to myself, how would I answer this? You're right. I'm always like, I ask the question and then I'm like, what would my answer be? Which is kind of back to what you were saying about you telling your own story.
Yeah. And I think that makes us better storytellers, right? We're anticipating or trying to put ourselves...
Like, is this a good question? Would she be able to... Exactly.
A high level of like empathy, right? I think we have like this high level of empathy in us of like, how am I presenting this question? How would I, one, receive it and also answer it? Like there's a level of care and respect I think that we have, which makes us good journalists.
Yeah, it shows in this profile. So
Thanks.
Congratulations on that. I also was like, this person could be your daughter. Am I wrong about the age numbers there?
She is 17. So yes, she could.
But I felt like you felt very protective the whole time. I don't know. Did it go well that interview? Because it really came across that you guys were like having a moment.
It was a good kiki. It definitely didn't feel like mother-daughter, but it did feel like big sister, little sister, right?
Okay, there we go. Better, thank you.
I think that it was also interesting time to talk to her because it was literally a week after the election. So,
and now she's trans, so
she's trans.
She's been feeling the things.
If no one knows who Zaya is, she is a beautiful trans 17-year-old who is the daughter of Dwayne Wade, Hall of Fame, NBA player, and stepdaughter to Gabrielle Union, amazing actress on High. And it was wild to talk to her after Trump winning the election. I wrote the story, got the draft in before the holidays in December. And then life really turned on after he was inaugurated because we didn't know if he was going to like keep with his promises of like taking down the trans community. So I had to rewrite the intro right before we put it out.
Well, all those executive orders came out. Yeah.
All the executive orders that he was like really targeting this community that makes up less than 1% of the population. Like it was wild. So I really wanted to inject that into the story to like give people a real idea of what Zaya and this community are dealing with. It is a complete assault on their being.
I feel like when we talk about groups of people as a group, you forget to realize, like you can be all on board with some political ideology, it makes sense to you or it doesn't make sense to you, until you start seeing the individual faces of people. And it's not just these executive orders, it's many that have affected people.
Yep.
But just hearing from someone who is affected, it makes it all the more personal and then all the more like, why are we all up in people's personal business?
I mean, I hopped in some like TikTok beef this week with someone who like put up like a little rant about why are they putting this little boy on the cover of 17, all that. And I was like,
are you a commenter? You get in there.
Usually I'm not. But
Wait, I don't know this about
seemed
you.
Personal because this was a Black woman. She put up the cover. She was definitely attacking the fact that 17 was highlighting Zaya and the fact that her parents, this is child abuse, her frontal lobe isn't even developed yet. I will calmly gather you. Like, I'm not going to come in there and be like, F you, da da da. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, like, it must take so much energy to be a hater. This doesn't concern you. You don't have to read it.
Listen to the sarcasm dripping from your voice as you say
I was
this
like,
to me, though.
It doesn't concern you. Why do you care? Don't engage with it. Don't read it. Don't tell other people to read it. Just leave these people alone. Live and let live. No one is criticizing you on how you raise your kids. If you believe that Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are going to burn in hell for this, allow them to. Leave them alone. But I know for sure that this girl deserves celebration and praise, and that her parents don't deserve to be attacked for how their daughter wants to live her life. Period. Leave her alone. Leave her
I'm proud
alone.
of you for speaking up. Jess and I got into this a little bit last week because we were talking about when is anger useful. We were talking about animal testing, some news that just came out that the FDA was requiring it for sunscreens. And we were talking about, well, the anti-aging skincare at Sephora isn't really, I don't have anger about that. But Jess tends to get much more fired up than I do. And I kept trying to be like, oh, we got to be rational. We got to look at truth. And then as you're talking to, I'm just like, sometimes you have to show your emotion. Otherwise, people don't think you care.
Yeah.
Which is like a lesson I'm learning here at age 46.
Yeah. I also
I've
love
learned
when people...
with relationships too, with like friends and family. They think I'm like, no, I'm just being calm and rational, which kind of pisses people off sometimes, which I didn't realize. I thought, how can that piss you off? I'm just being but people want to see emotion.
Exactly. One of the commenters or something was like, oh, you just don't know how media works. They're like pushing this agenda on me. Because I hadn't told them, I hadn't said in the comments that I was the writer, unless you like really...
Oh, someone said that to you.
Yes. And so I was like, I actually know how media works. I'm a journalist. I actually wrote this story. I know exactly how this works. Like, don't come for me unless I send for you.
You know what I mean? The other thing is like, a lot of people don't have stake in that game. Why are they commenting? And it's good coming from you because you were there and do know. Anyway, the story is great. And I was like, that's my friend. Because as I heard you asking questions of her, I was like, that's so, Julie would totally ask that. She's like, no, tell me more about this group chat. I'm like, she's so nosy.
I know, but it was a really good kiki. You know, Gabrielle Union is also like a beauty founder. So I've interviewed her in the past. She made me a Woman Crush Wednesday like a year and a half ago on her profile. And that's when Zaya started following me. So we kind of have this like
you have history.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a little bit of history, but this was our first time really talking. But there's like, you know, my father played in the NFL. So he was not a Hall of Famer like her father. But there are ways in which we intersected in looking at each other as Black women in this world, having a little bit of similar, you know, growing up things with like professional athletes being our fathers, binge watching shows. Like, I love the fact that we connected on so many levels.
She's on the cover of 17. Your mom won an internship day at 17 when she was 17.
Yes, I put that picture up, which I was like
believe it.
so excited to share. I'd been like kind of holding it in my back pocket. I didn't even tell Willa, our editor-in-chief, that was something my mom had done. I was like, let me put this story out into the world, and then I'm going to drop the fact that my mom
But your mom's not a journalist, is she?
She's not. It was just something that she had won in high school. But she was like, it's so serendipitous that like she visited 17, and I have a picture of her at Glamour. And I posted it when Glamour decided to fold their print. I posted it then being like, oh my gosh, this is also a full circle moment. Like RIP Glamour print. But like my mom also was a one-day intern at Glamour. It's cool. But like she was like, I almost willed this, manifested you being like a journalist in this space.
Yeah. She says that to you about your career. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she manifest your face all over New York City?
She didn't, but I have
sure
good,
all mothers
but thanks
do.
To her, I have good genes.
But she gave you yes, exactly. 50% of that face we can give her credit for. So,
right.
Oh my gosh, I love all this. You've been busy woman. I have been busy as well, but literally all the projects and things I've been working on are NDA'd, as everybody knows.
Ooh,
sometimes.
I love an NDA. We sign NDAs for a living. It's crazy.
We'll go offline, and I won't break the NDA, but I'll give you more information. But one thing I did do that I wanted to call out before we get into the news today, I'm a judge again this year. Have you ever done this for the CEW Beauty Awards?
I haven't. You are fancier than I.
Okay.
And I love it.
Okay, ma'am.
I live for this.
Well, so they're every year, and that's executives in media, beauty, vote on the entries in this, and companies can enter. And we did it last year, and I was like, so pleasantly surprised that the cream that rose to the top, am I using that idiom correctly, aphorism, whatever it is, were the products that you and I talk about all the time. Like, it works.
Really?
It's the stuff that like both either was undersung by consumers or consumers liked it, but people who know. Makeup artists vote on this, facialists vote on this, people like me that try products for a living. So anyway, if you're listening and you have a beauty brand and you have a little cash to enter because it does cost to enter, but that's not how you win. You don't win by paying. That's just to deal with all the data that we all have to go through. I volunteer my services, by the way. I do not get paid for this. I will put the link in the show notes so you could enter your products. It's so cool, too, seeing like, okay, here's everything that came out in the last year. And just every now and then there's a couple things I haven't tried or seen, but then I'll do my homework to figure it out. So...
But I love that you spotted some products that we always talk about. It's like very nice validation.
It tells me that, that these awards aren't for nothing. I feel like everybody has a beauty award now, but the seals do show consumers that this is the good stuff. And now that I know how some of the different nominating committees work, like I've worked at magazines where it's just like I picked whatever I want. This one's like there's a bunch of us and there's like a whole... It took a while to vote, I'm just going to say. So
really
important stuff goes into it. So I'll put that link if you have a product you want to enter. All right, let's go. We did Julie's news. Let's go do all the news.
Woohoo!
Okay, let's get into it, Julie. I want to talk about, and I know you want to talk about, the latest makeup skincare hybrids. I feel like this is makeup skincare 2.0. She said, ooh, like, ooh. Is that because this is not a new news trend? Talk to me.
It honestly isn't new, but you have to give people grace for discovering things and being like, oh, wow, look at this. And you're like, it's been around, but I'm here for your excitement.
I saw the term, I forget where I saw this, but you know how we all heard about the skinification of hair? Now I saw the makeupification of skin.
Makeupification. Wow.
So
that's a word.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, there's just been a lot of launches early in 2025 of products that are makeup and skincare hybrids. And a lot of buzz about like what a new revolutionary product this is. The big one I feel like is Rhode's peptide lip shape. That I was just like, okay, is that skincare? Because it's a lip pencil and it has peptides.
I mean, lip is still skin. I actually have one. Made Beauty has their whole lip ritual situation, and they have their signature red lip pigment also has all of like the skinification stuff in it, like the peptides and the technology. So it's like, I love it. She has a scrub and a serum and like a balm, but she also has a lip color, her signature red, that has all of the yummy ingredients in it too, which honestly, like, I would wear it without that stuff, but it does make me feel good when I have it on. Like,
okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. These products, my thinking has always been like, my makeup is one thing. For skincare, I want it loaded with whatever ingredient I'm after for whatever result I'm after. So just turned into a Midwest mom for that one. For makeup, though, I never think, I've written about this too, that they can get enough of a skincare ingredient into it that it's more than marketing. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, sure, your face.
I agree.
Okay. But
because like
says,
even with like blush and stuff, it's like, do I really like want the blush going into my pores that have the hyaluronic acid?
Excellent example. So let me give you two examples. One product, one is still embargoed slightly, but Glow Recipes Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush. So it's like a liquid blush serum in droplet form, but with, I believe, clinical levels of niacinamide, which is brightening.
Right.
Think about, go ahead. What would you use?
No,
this?
I like my mind just goes to, okay, cool. But like, is the niacinamide penetrating and then the color just stays on top? Is that everything penetrating? And how much of it do I need? How much of this blush? Am I going to be walking around looking like a clown if I really want to get the benefit?
Like, the minerals in it, like the oxides and things that give it the color and the pigments that sit on the skin, right? Of course, some is getting absorbed into the epidermis, not necessarily the dermis. The niacinamide is one of those ingredients that it doesn't have to go deep to do its thing. It's there in the epidermis as well. You're already putting this on your skin. It's not like it's pulling in like pink pigment number 42 along with it. You know what I mean?
Lord.
However, what I think about with this blush, and there's a couple we'll talk about, but like with the blush specifically, I was like, okay, niacinamide is known for brightening, helping with hyperpigmentation. I was like, what if I put this blush on, the little circles on my cheek every day, A month from now, because it's at clinical levels, I wash my face, I look at my face.
Oh, and then only that part of your face is like,
That's my
no, but
first
that
thought.
just means you need to be using niacinamide on the rest of your face with your just regular skincare.
So that goes back to my original thing, which is like, put your niacinamide in your serum and wear whatever blush you want.
For sure. Is it a marketing gimmick? Is it just to be like, we can't put out another just regular blush. We got to give it something else to get people excited.
I don't know. From people I know that like these products, it's like, I don't want to have to put in 8 things on my face. And maybe I wasn't going to use the niacinamide, so might as well just get a little bit of it. So if I was going to buy this blush or this blush, they both work great. I like the color on both. Might as well pick the one that is going to be good for my skin.
Yeah. I mean, look, the only thing that gets me like that is a foundation or a skin tint with an SPF. Like that to me makes sense because I'm like, I don't want to have to like put on my SPF and then put on a foundation over it. It's just making my face feel heavy. So I do like a foundation, a good hardworking foundation that's not too cakey, that also has SPF.
I agree with you. That's where it makes sense. A new one of those is Versed, the skincare line. It's like big in Target, everything. So they just came out with a whole makeup line. But like the hero product, which makes sense to me, I guess, is the skin tint because it has SPF 40. So, okay, that's technically skincare. Hyaluronic acid, some Kakadu plum that's like antioxidant. So it's like you're putting it all over your face anyway. Why not have it be your skincare, right?
Yes. I'm wearing Tonal, which is really great. Amazing foundation founded by a Black woman who obviously is being very thoughtful around making sure that there's great skincare for people of color, but also has SPF 50, which I love, and all of these fruit extracts.
Full foundation? Is it sheer? Like, what's the story?
It's a full foundation, so it's buildable. I would say it's medium, and then you build it up. You can build it up, but it's not a skin tint by any means. It's definitely a foundation.
Yeah. I think this trend makes the most sense for those. I get a little bit of an eye roll for like a lip pencil with an extra inch or an eyeshadow. I remember a woman I worked with on a consulting project. She was just like teasing. I think it was super, I can't remember. Someone did an eyeshadow with SPF, which I thought was genius because SPF stings on your eyelids. You know you need sunscreen around your eyes. But then it was like, who wants to pick the same color eyeshadow and put it on every day just to get their sunscreen? Like just make us an eye sunscreen.
Right. Are there any like great eye creams with SPF in them?
It's hard. Actually, I've tried to fill that credit a bunch of times in stories, and they're not many because I think to get to SPF 30 and safe around the eyes and then the texture right, it's a hard. All right, let's put that out into the world for these companies that are makeupificationing their skins. Can we just get our sunscreen and eye cream in one thing first before we worry about putting color in there?
Yes. Although Naked Sundays, who we both just met with, they said that their new like bronzing or like something drops or whatever, that you can use those on the eyes.
Yes, Naked Sundays, I know they're expanding their sunscreen mostly, but actually they've always had color because they had lip glosses with SPF. It actually, you know what? For this trend, I do think sunscreen is probably the best one. If you consider sunscreen skincare, sunification my makeup or makeupification my sun. What am I trying? Sorry.
That is wild. I love that. That was like a tongue twister and like a mind twister.
I'm curious if people use them. Like call us and tell us if there's products you think do as well at the skincare thing they're supposed to be doing as they do at the makeup thing they're supposed to be doing. Because if they don't, why are we here?
Again, I think it's marketing, just to be able to say that you're doing something different than the normal. But we'll see. I'm curious to hear what people have to say about this.
Yeah, with this whole new batch coming out. Okay, moving on. I got a giggle from this one. So a while back, Anna Sui and this company came out with a laptop that was scented. Did you and I talk about this, or did I talk about this with
We
someone?
didn't.
I think it was with Jess because she loves Anna Sui. And you know how the fan on the computer sort of whirls when it gets too warm? Well, they were like, well, it's already warm. We already have this fan going. Let's put these little pods in. You can change out the pods with these Anna Sui fragrances just for your computer. And I loved it, but a bunch of listeners were like, are you kidding me now? Like, what?
It's a lot.
Right. You think that's a lot. The company just came out with This one, though, okay, let me just explain it to you. This is called the Fragrance Mouse. It is a stylish and ergonomic mouse that's available in distinctive iridescent white or rose clay finish. So inside the back of the mouse, there's an internal bottom compartment that's refillable. I looked at it, it's like almost like a little pod, but you can pick whatever you want to put in there. And then it has vents. So as you're using your mouse, and it's a normal looking like wireless mouse, you're getting a shot of whatever fragrance as it moves around. Maybe your hand warms it up. Julie's face is just, the emoji where the eyes and the lips are the same horizontal line?
Yes.
This is what your face looks like.
My gut reaction was, who the hell uses a mouse? And then you picked up a mouse just now. And I was like, wow,
never use a mouse?
My hand has not touched a mouse in years.
I don't know.
Years.
Something about me, I travel with my mouse. Even if I'm going somewhere with a laptop,
Wow.
I can do all the trackpad, 2-finger slide, ba-doopy-doop. I just find I'm such a faster, more productive worker if I have a separate mouse.
No knock to you. I live for this. I love that you understand yourself and your efficiency. I'm just saying that I personally have not touched a mouse in years. It might be a decade. I don't know when I actually have touched a mouse.
Oh my gosh, this is to remind me that, like, Jen, your worldview is not everyone's worldview. And this is to remind you, Julie, that your worldview. Yes, go on.
Jen, if I were to have a mouse in my world,
would it be scented?
I don't think. I own hundreds. There are 200 perfumes in my home. I live in 950 square feet, and I have 200 fragrances in my home.
You do the math, everyone.
Exactly. I love a scent. I love a fragrance. I do think that it would be something I might have and put like aromatherapy in it. I don't need it to be smelling like freaking flower bomb. I need it to smell like something to calm me down as I'm working through my deadlines and all the stress.
Because you're trying to cut and paste with the little trackpad, which is really hard. And if you had a mouse.
Now you got me feeling like my life could be way more efficient and less stressful if I had a mouse. And maybe this mouse in particular.
It surprises me for someone who works with text and layouts because, I'm often selecting large groups of. Anyway, all right. I'm getting beside the point because something you said.
I'm on my tracker. I'm on the trackpad, yo.
All right. Something you said brings us to Science Corner. So let's go to Science Corner. Okay, I had the same thought as you about the fragrance mouse. I was like, if we're doing this, let's get a little aromatherapy moment. So I was like, what oil would I put in there? Let me go check the latest research. So in a study published in the journal Chemical Senses, they looked into 3 different types of oils and how they might affect alertness. Because alertness would be nice.
Yes.
You just had lunch, you're working on that story. Okay, so they tested peppermint, jasmine, and ylang-ylang essential oils.
Okay.
And surprisingly to me, and I haven't seen this research before and it made me sad, there was no significant effect of any of them on the alertness when it was objectively measured by reaction time when the scientists were doing the measurements. However, on the positive side, when the subjects were asked about how alert they felt, whether they had the control or the sense, they did feel that they were more alert. They did feel more productive. So even if they weren't technically moving the mouse or the trackpad as quickly or being as alert, they had the vibe that they were. Because that placebo is
vibes
wrong.
mean something, Jen.
And vibes mean something.
A perceived quantification works just as much as like the data, I think sometimes. We're all in our head. So if like I'm feeling like it works and the vibes are right, let's go.
I just read a book about the placebo effect because I've always like rolled my eyes and been like, you're just it's whatever. It's all in your head, so it doesn't really mean anything. But what scientists find is like, yes, it's in your head, but it also affects your physiological being. So if you take a sugar pill, but you think it's like lowering cortisol, your cortisol does, like the brain is super duper powerful.
Over matter.
Amazingly. So in that case, essential oils really do something. But the fun part of that for me is you don't have to like pick one that you don't love. So a lot of people are like, I don't really like lavender. I want to be relaxed, but I don't really like lavender. It doesn't matter. If you enjoy the scent and you think that it's making you feel a certain way, then it is, which is kind of weird. It's crazy to think about.
And we all have like different chemistry. I remember when people like when I first started drinking coffee, which I actually don't drink coffee on a
Why'd
daily
you put
basis,
air
but
quotes on coffee?
I don't know. You know, I grew up in a Mormon household, so we did not have coffee and stuff. So like, I just did not ever drink coffee until I had my first child. And it would always make me sleepy. Like for some people, it revs them up and stuff. And like for me, it would just make me want to take a nap.
Yeah.
It was weird. It's just your own body chemistry it's just different. Like you said, lavender is going to make some people be like, yuck, I don't like this. And some people it's going to be like, this calms me down.
Well, for me, lavender, I love the smell, but I don't find it necessarily calming. I actually think it can be energizing sometimes. So I'm like,
it's supposed to be calming.
I know I spray it on my sheets though, but I don't spray it at night. I spray it in the morning when I make my bed because I'm like, oh, fresh room, starting the day, lavender. I might put lavender in my Asus scented mouse. I don't know. I'm not going to put ylang ylang. I've never loved ylang ylang.
Me either.
It's a little heady for me.
Put some coffee in there.
I could see why it made you sleepy because of the warm beverage aspect,
Yeah.
the roasty, toasty, comforting smells. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Fresh bag of coffee when you open it up and it's just like in your face.
I do love the smell of coffee.
Yeah. I don't want to smell like that in perfume per se, but maybe roasting around on my little mouse pad, it might be okay. Anyway, if you're into this idea, get yourself an Asus mouse. Fill it with whatever you damn please. Okay. Last thing here. I don't know why this has become a thing that I love doing with you, but I love giving you a quiz. We did this with hair oils.
We did.
And you did really well. So I want to see if you're up for it again.
I'm always up for it. Hit me, sis.
So a new analysis, it's an influencer marketing company or tool called Heapsy. So what they did is they analyzed the buzz around celebrity brands, like who is getting the most buzz in 2025. They did their analysis based on media mentions, hashtags, followers, Google search data. So I have the list of the top 10 celebrity brands getting buzz in 2025, and I want to see how you do naming some of them. However, I'm going to be nice. I have hints for you. Do you want 2 hints?
I mean,
she's already counting.
I know like the top 2. I have to.
All right. So, but here's the thing. It is all categories, so not just beauty. So I used to be a fashion editor, so this should give you an up here. 3 of them are beauty, 5 are fashion, 1 is entertainment, and 1 is hospitality. So this opens up the group of celebrities we're talking about, right? But I feel like you're into pop culture. You might know. My other, and this is going to probably give away one, my other thing is it's not all positive buzz. Think about that. When people talk about celebrities, they're not always saying good things. Okay. Can you name, Julie Wilson, any of the top 10 celebrity brands in America getting buzz in 2025?
I mean, Hailey Bieber for sure, Rhode. I mean, Selena Gomez, Rare.
Okay, you got one. Hailey Bieber, no, but Selena Gomez is number 6 on this list.
6?
For Rare Beauty. And I think that's because you and I are so enmeshed in the beauty world that we consider anything happening in beauty to be like the culture, because it's our culture, right? But think about so now. Anyway, you got one.
I mean, Skims.
Yes. Skims is on there,
for
number
sure.
5.
Is Good American? I don't know, her sister.
No. Are those Kardashians still popular? 5 for Kim Kardashian, Skims.
Rihanna.
3 and 4 for Rihanna. Both Fenty Beauty, number 3.
And Fenty Hair?
No, Savage.
Oh, Savage. Right.
I guess it's called Savage Fenty. The fashion.
The lingerie.
The lingerie for number 4.
Underwear and lingerie.
Yes, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're doing great. Anyone else you can think of?
Oh my God. Now I'm like blanking on all of like the celebrity.
You only missed one
things.
beauty. And you were on the right track with the Ks.
The Ks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Kardashians, like Kylie.
You got it. Kylie Cosmetics, which surprised me.
That's still relevant?
And I don't know if that's because people are talking about
and now it's gone down.
Just for buzz of like media mentions and hashtags, and maybe they own a bunch of hashtags. She is number 2. So you now got all the beauty. The 3 beauty ones were Kylie. And how scientific is this? You saw what the methodology was. Like you're just looking at hashtags. Kylie.
Who are the fashion brands?
Number 1. Number 1 of everything.
Liddy?
And no, Yeezy.
Sorry, no.
Because his name,
You're selling T-shirts with swastikas on it. I'm sorry.
I think it's negative. That's why I gave you this hint, didn't I? Didn't I give you the buzz?
You did, but
I did.
like I just don't even understand.
All right, we're not talking about him. Moving on.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve it. Okay. This one, though, is not going to surprise you, and it is an entertainment. Dolly Parton and Dollywood, right behind Selena Gomez.
Seriously?
Yeah. Does that make you happy?
Put her, I love Dolly.
I know. That's why I thought you'd enjoy.
I also put her lipstick on the Today Show. I did a Today Show segment, put her lipstick on it. And I have one of her limited edition fragrances. Have you gotten any of her fragrances?
Yes. Because I've been begging. I want her to come on the show so bad.
They're so good. Come on, Dolly. Come on to Fat Mascara.
Icon. She's not even on here for her fairly new beauty entree with Scent Beauty, which is, I guess, 2 or 3 years. That's gorgeous with the butterfly. She owned butterflies before anyone.
Weighs at least 3 pounds. It is beautiful.
Oh, it's in a dropper?
It's not a dropper. It's just on the wand.
Yeah. Oh.
It's not a dropper. It just
I had a sample, and it was in a regular sample vial. It has a glass wand, so you drop it on your pulse points and things. That's gorgeous.
With this bedazzled, the studded, jeweled butterfly on top. This thing is heavy. It's a paperweight. And it's not that much juice inside.
Listen, Dolly doesn't do things half-ass.
Dolly is a queen of the highest order, and she's still out here. It makes me also feel like the best is yet to come. We can just still keep creating and putting dope things out into the world, because I'm pretty sure she's 80. No?
Yeah. And she's number 7 on this list for just for Dollywood alone. I'm sure if you added in her new foray into beauty, she'd be a force. Okay.
Who else is on this list?
The other fashion one was Billionaire Boys Club, Pharrell.
I can't even believe that's still a thing.
I literally was that's why I'm not sure about the methodology, because I thought that was anyway. Then number 9 is Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace, Margaritaville. Okay. Which, by the way, has delicious food. The one in Times Square is a delight if anybody ever wants to go.
There's a whole I love a documentary. I don't know if you know this about me. I will watch any documentary on anything. And there's a documentary they're called Parrot Heads. And I watched a whole documentary on Parrot Heads a year ago.
And you can't get that hour and a half back, Julie.
I can't, but I was just very fascinated around fandom and how people will travel and do the things and really drink the Kool-Aid. And I don't know, as a journalist, I just loved it.
My parents are not Parrot Heads, but they have been to more than one Jimmy Buffett concert, something we do not share in common at all, because his music gives me the ick. But the bars are lovely and the food is lovely, and it's always tropical time. I forget what the tagline, tropical times in Margarita.
What kind of music is he?
Margaritaville.
I know, but what kind of music is it? Because I just watched a documentary on yacht rock.
Yeah, that's what surf. She says surf pop. I can't get anything right that's not beauty. Yacht rock.
Yacht rock.
Would you consider
yacht
that?
Rock?
We're going to look this up. That's right. We're taking.
I think he's a little too tiki bar or something for yacht rock. He's more at the tiki bar and not on the boat, on the yacht, I think.
Yeah. Genres, according to Wikipedia: tropical rock.
Tropical rock.
Country rock, folk rock, calypso, easy listening pop. That actually tracks for me.
Yacht rock is easy listening. There's a great documentary on yacht rock. If you're a yacht rock
rock's more like that Miami Vice kind of music. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting beside the point because
sorry.
The very last person. We've met her because she's always been around the beauty world. Had a La Mer contract for a bit, if this gives you a clue.
No, who?
Kate Hudson for Fabletics.
Okay, cool.
And scene.
And scene. Cool.
I give you a score of A+ for effort, Julie Wilson.
Okay,
thank you for indulging me. I think all this is to say just the majority of a lot of the brands that we consume here in America these days are started by celebrities.
I don't agree with the number one, but go ahead.
Me neither. All right, let's go raise some wands. That'll make us happier. Let's go to a happy place. It is time to raise wands. Let's start with a listener, shall we? This is Amrita. Take it away.
Hi, Jess and Jen. This is Amrita. I'm an avid listener, follower from India. I absolutely love listening to your podcast because I am a skincare and makeup junkie, and I don't have access to all of the products that you guys speak about, but I still get to keep in touch with all of the trends and everything that you guys speak about. So it's super, super fun. I'd actually like to raise a wand, not to a specific product, but to a section of products. So I know we all love French pharmacy products, but I think the entire world is sleeping on Indian pharmacy products. So I used to get products shipped from the rest of the world to India and pay like a lot of customs. And it was just super, super expensive, not easy on the pocket. But then over the last year, I have been absolutely geeking out over all of the Indian pharmacy products that are available. Something as simple as a hyaluronic acid gel, which, trust me, is so much better than any other toner that you may find, hyaluronic acid toner that you may find anywhere else in the world, is probably just $2 or $3 here. And we have everything from Tret to kojic acid, alpha-arbutin, glycolic acid, absolutely amazing products here. And I know, or rather, I've seen a lot of people from the West loving to come to India for its culture and its food, but I definitely think that you guys need to recommend. And if you're ever here, come and try out Indian pharmacy products because they're absolutely amazing. They're easy on the pocket. And more often than not, these products are very easily available because you have access to dermatologists within around like an hour or 40 minutes of just calling into their clinics. So that should be really good. Thank you so much. I hope that, you guys continue to do the work that you do. Thank you. Bye.
I love our listeners. I love
They're the best.
the fam. I love the calls. Just so everybody knows, I figured out how to archive the old voicemails. So I think you, again, can have more than 3 minutes on our voicemail machine because people were getting cut off. Not sure about that, but keep calling us. Amrita, thank you for bringing your culture's products to the rest of us and reminding us. I think you're absolutely right. So what I did, she wants us to experience some of the Indian pharmacy delights that she knows about, that like we're all up here on French pharmacy. I think it's kind of hard to find these when you're not in India. So I went to the website. It's called Desi Food. So it's like American, of course, for anybody of a Desi heritage. But I've bought spices there. So I've never even looked around the website. So I went. There's a whole beauty vertical. So
Really?
I'm an idiot. You can indeed find Indian pharmacy products outside of India. They didn't have a huge selection, but what I ordered, because I was like, all right, I'll be in the vibe of what Amrita said. Dermaco, which is an Indian brand, they do a 1% hyaluronic acid sunscreen, aqua ultralight gel, SPF 50, and it's $12.
Even more delightful.
So I got to look at this and I got to see what's the sunscreen ingredients. My guess is they're not US approved, but who cares? That's fine. I'm sick of the US approved sunscreens and that whole rigmarole. I want to see what's in there. I might be ordering some other stuff. But have you ever been to India?
I have not. It's definitely on the list.
Whenever anybody asks me where is the best thing you've ever eaten, I'm like, when I went to India, the food there was like,
God, I could just...
The variety of food. If you think you don't like Indian food, you haven't been to India clearly because there's like so much. Anyway, I didn't get a lot of time in the pharmacies, so I'm a little late to this game. And I want to hear more about this from other listeners because I checked and we have more than 1,000 listeners in India as of last week. So I would love for you to inform us which brands we should be looking for. Not that I'm not going to do the homework myself, guys. I'm not putting it all on everybody else. But even if you're not Desi and you just know about Indian beauty brands, where can we find them? Like, I want more.
I want to know too. Please.
Like, where's Stylavana on this? Why don't we start the imports over there? We're getting everything from South Korea, from some Japanese brands.
Absolutely. This could be like a real movement.
Or is this a white space for somebody who's listening who's like wanting to be an importer for beauty products? Let's get into this. Anyway, I'll link to the one that I found that includes hyaluronic acid. But call us if you know of other sites where you're able to get your hands on these products, or if there's some favorites. Maybe if you go back to India to visit family or you're from India, like what are the brands we should be looking at us? Teach us. 646-481-8182. Julie, I'm sorry to say, nobody cares about you or me and our eyeliner needs. I, last week, asked for a dark chocolate brown liquid eyeliner. You asked for a non-transfer proof liquid eyeliner.
And
no one
got back to us.
Come through for us.
It's okay. Again, another opportunity.
Well, that's the thing, because there's a lot of black liquid eyeliners and a lot of liquid eyeliners that don't dry and transfer. I know it's out there. I need someone to help us. We've been getting a lot of calls about the Sephora birthday parties and the tweens wearing anti-aging makeup. So that conversation continues to be lit, on fire with the Fat Mascara listeners. So call us about that too.
Was it the state of California that is trying
Yes, that was what Jess and I talked about last week. The assembly person who I misgendered and kept calling she for the whole episode, he brought a bill about banning anti-aging skincare for children, and a lot of people were weighing in. Now I'm curious to you, because your oldest is 10, coming up on the age where they're going to be getting into this kind of thing. I mean, he's a boy. I don't know how boy he is.
I feel like I can control it way more because I'm in the industry. I can only imagine when there are parents who don't really, I mean, we read clinical studies for a living, right? Like,
so we know
it's insider baseball for us. So like I can protect him from things. I'm like, do not put that on your face. I can like literally go to the closet and hand him, what he needs. I
Step
think
away
it's
from the
harder
glycolic,
when you're just
Ryan.
like, right. But I think it's like, it's different for everyone else where they're just like, I want my kid to feel cute and do the things, but like don't have the knowledge to know that actually shouldn't be on their face.
Right. And that's what Alex Lee is getting at, wants to make sure that for parents who don't have time to do the homework or who just send their kid off to the mall and don't want to have to like think that they might get their hands on something that's not great for their skin. But we were also talking about the fact of having birthday parties at Sephora and what does that mean about wealth inequity or consumerism. So if anybody else wants to weigh in, we're going to keep the combo going. 646-481-8182. But also, can you help a sister out with some eyeliners, guys?
Help us.
Come on, help us. How about this? Transfer proof and dark chocolate brown. 2-in-1. Get one that works for me and Julie. Let's raise our own one, shall we?
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
I actually have a product that launched a little over a year ago, like 13 months ago, that you probably know, and maybe some of our listeners know, but if they don't, they should be put on. Olay cleansing melts. Have you gone into this?
It's funny because I have a cleanser too. And the lather, I don't know how to describe when they melt. Anyway, you're raising one. Go ahead.
No, I want you to like get into it with me. Like they're actually like, I feel like people are sleeping on these because they might seem like a little gimmicky, but they're great. They're these little cleansing squares and you put them in your hand and you put them under the water and then you lather them into your hand. They dissolve. And then you wash your face with it and they're just so amazing. I don't know, like I've been really like leaning into it. Like I've had them for the past year, but like, as an editor, we're constantly using other things. And I like kind of rediscovered them in my cabinet. And I was like, wait, let me go back to this. And my skin has been thriving.
I don't know how they did it because there is no single-use plastic in it. The thing dissolves completely. But what's different if you're thinking, why would I buy this fancy thing when I can just buy a foaming cleanser? The foam is so different from the foam in a liquid cleanser. Don't you find that?
Yeah.
It's like creamier and stretchier. I don't know how to describe it.
It's really nice. And I like the fact that they have like a vitamin C one, they have a hyaluronic acid one, they have a retinol one. So there are these added benefits. You can like choose your own
feels
adventure.
Like a little facial.
Yeah, it's nice, like whatever your skin needs. So like I obviously have all of them. And so based on like what my skin needs, I will use it based on that. Like I need a little bit more vitamin C.
Wilson Wareham needs a little brightening. Let's get the vitamin C going today.
I don't know. I just really love them. And I feel like it's one of those things that's like it's out there, but not enough people are talking about it.
We had a listener call in from Portland last week who wanted to be able to bring the facial experience home to children in a way that felt like not too crazy. Those would be fun for a sleepover party. Like everybody gets a little square before bed because the lather's fun, the experience is fun. I always say to my husband and my friends, like whenever I'm eating something like the hummus pack with the pretzels in it, you guys know what I'm talking about, the Sabra hummus. I'm like, it's a snacktivity. Or like Pocky, because you dip it.
Yes.
So I want a word for like when you're doing a beauty treatment, but it's also fun. It's like, it's a beauty-tivity.
That's like, like peel off masks.
Yeah.
Just like peel off your face, almost like the new Pat McGrath one.
Yeah, that aren't a sheet mask, but like the or Biore. I mean, please, Biore strips, like the original
Yeah.
connectivity of beauty
Yeah.
products.
For sure.
They feel like that a little. It's funny you mention those because I also have a cleansing oil, and it's an oil because I was going to talk about how I pretty much don't use foam cleansers anymore because I find them to be too drying for my skin. And then I decided I'm not going to say that because there's still those Olay melts which aren't drying. I literally thought that to myself.
Are you serious?
Yes, because that's the only one I've tried in the last year where like, okay, I got foam because I love foam. It feels so fun to wash your face with like lather, right? But I was like, I always end up feeling drier afterwards. And I was like, no, those were pretty good. I didn't feel dry
that's
afterwards.
Serendipitous that like.
It is serendipitous. I'm almost like, should I not do my cleansing oil? But I still want to talk about my cleansing oil.
But I like that you use an oil cleanser because we were just talking about this in the Cosmo offices that yesterday, literally yesterday, a few of the other beauty editors were like, I was just told not to use one oil on my face, like a face oil, and two, not to oil cleanse. It's like the worst thing that you can do. And I was like, I will never break up with my LMS Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm.
Yeah, you turned me on to that one. I love that one.
I'm like, I don't care. And honestly, my face is fine.
Who's saying this?
I'm not going to name the.
Tell me offline.
The
they need to come on and.
dermatologist
It's a dermatologist.
and a founder. And a founder.
Okay, but
told.
maybe that's their marketing story now. Like cleansers are bad because don't you feel like every time we get on board with a new beauty trend, then somebody comes out and they're like, I can sell stuff by saying that's wrong. Like, look at the whole clean toxins, no toxins.
Right.
Nice. This one's good. Now it's bad. It's like.
Right. Now, with this oil cleanser, which you need to tell us what it is.
Which I haven't named yet. Yes.
Do you double cleanse with it or
No.
cleanse with it just period?
So this is Manyo. It's a South Korean brand.
Oh, yeah. I know this brand.
Yeah. So I wasn't super familiar with it, but they're expanding in the US right now. And they hosted a dinner to like get to know the products more. And I met the coolest lady. She literally picked up and moved her life from Seattle to South Korea. She spoke Korean, but like Sunday school Korean. And she was just like, nope, I quit my job and just moved to South Korea with no visa and no job and landed at this company. She's the force. Anyway, Manyo in South Korea is the #1 cleansing oil. Like this is their, I was trying to think like maybe Youth to the People would be America's. I'm just trying to think like what brand would be our #1 cleansing oil. And like in Japan, it might be DHC, if that means anything to anybody. It's a little bit older brand.
What's that one? Not Biosense? Like the squalene one.
Oh, people like, yeah. Well, anyway, so it's available at Ulta now. The Manyo Pure Cleansing Oil and the Deep Cleansing Oil. The Deep Cleansing Oil is a little bit for oily skin and also taking off makeup. The Pure Cleansing Oil is like the standard one. I love them both, and I don't need to double cleanse because it really breaks down the makeup, including if I wear waterproof eyeliner. And then it rinses clean. Some of the oils I find feel a little, I don't mind that, but you get like a leave behind, if you will.
Exactly. No, I love this. I'm glad we're on the same page because
it's really
I didn't
good.
like what I was hearing yesterday about the no oil using
I want to hear about that so I can look into that some more and find out what that story is. And I also think this, all things skincare, it's like what works for you.
Exactly.
I'm sure this founder maybe had an issue with pore something. I don't know.
I think
I love a
she's just
oil.
Opinionated sometimes in ways she shouldn't. It's fine.
And a cleansing balm, I love too. But this is great for makeup removal. Smells good. It's almost 80% like pure oil. So not a lot of extra additives in there. Which probably reminds me that I could probably just use grapeseed
Is it
oil.
expensive?
It was $24 for a large bottle. So I would say that's a prestige cleansing product. But not high. Not as much as that LMS that you got me hooked on. You're evil.
Look, that LMS Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm, y'all. Try it. It's everything.
I have it it's for like a Saturday, when you have a little extra time and I want to just enjoy and breathe in and have a facial moment. That's when I bring out.
Can I also raise a wand really quickly to something that's not beauty?
Yes.
We love a podcast, Avi. And I'm shouting out another podcast, but it is not a competitor. The telepathy tapes. If you guys are not listening to the telepathy tapes, please do. It's changed my life. It's about nonverbal autistic people who have telepathic gifts. And I believe every second of it, I have a nonverbal autistic brother. And now it's like changed my life. And it's just has changed my view. And it helps me. It has helped calm my anxiety and worry around the shit show that the world is right now, because it reminds me that there are just other frequencies that we can be engaging with and like thinking about and pouring into these amazing humans that seem like they're shut-ins and like there's nothing in there. And they are in there and they are doing their thing. And I think it's just so magical. It literally was the #1 podcast in January over Joe Rogan.
Your brother, though, you guys communicate in your way.
Yes, like I can understand him because he mumbles and like he's still considered nonverbal because he doesn't
Did
really
you feel
like
validated? Like you're like, this is
Yes.
teaching me what's going on in that big, beautiful brain of his.
Yes, and all of like I've been surrounded by autistic people in my life, right? Because
Yeah.
of the schools and the communities and like the activities. He's Special Olympics. And I just have seen I am like very sensitive to that community of people, but I see the world being like they're in the corner rocking and drooling and like not speaking. There's no one in there. There's nothing going on. And I'm like, they're in there. They actually in this show, they call us muggles. And if you're like a Harry Potter person, like muggles are the people without magic. They're like the regular
That's
people,
us.
not the wizards. And they're like, you guys are muggles. Like we are in here talking to each other, having full-on conversations, learning things, being brilliant. And you move through life like we're not even there. And there's a whole documentary being produced around it. It's like fascinating. And I really, after you listen to your Fat Mascara episodes, definitely add telepathy tapes to your list.
I am on it immediately. I love this. It goes back to what you were saying about why we got into our line of work. A lot of like empathy. It's so good to just put yourself in somebody else's worldview for a minute.
They're in there like, it's all about love. And I know that sounds so corny, but they're like, y'all are out here worrying about whether you're going to get that bag, whether your credit score. They're like, this Earth School, what we're doing here is all about love and kindness and how you're treating people and like, stop worrying about worldly things.
Preach. Tell us more.
I love
All right,
it.
I'm listening. I literally am downloading it as we speak. That's our final Reza one. I think it's a good note to end on. Get your beauty sleep. Get your telepathy tapes podcast. Julie, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you,
coming on the
Jen.
show. It's
Love you.
part of the show. Love you. Love you all. Love the fam. Call us. Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Razor One product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.